For over 3 decades, ActionAid Ghana has been a voice for the voiceless, a force for the forgotten, and a lifeline for the left behind. Since 1990, we've worked hand in hand with communities across 11 regions of Ghana.
ActionAid has worked with the people for all these years, empowering them economically and socially. ActionAid in the Upper East region has touched so many lives, including women, smallholder women farmers, female-headed households, children, and all marginalized and vulnerable people.
Transforming lives, building resilience, and fighting for justice. Years on, the fight for social, gender, and climate justice is still urgent. ActionAid Ghana is set with a vision to eradicate poverty and promote social justice, and together with the people, we have sown seeds of transformation.
Over the last 3 decades, ActionAid Ghana has been working as a leading development organization in Ghana, promoting women's rights, green economy, and active citizenship in the country, in fulfillment of our vision to promote a just, equitable, and sustainable world in which every life is free from oppression and poverty in this country.
In Ghana's agricultural landscape, ActionAid Ghana is leading the charge in agroecology, nurturing food sovereignty, and climate-resilient livelihoods. Over 2,000 female extension volunteers have been trained across 11 regions, transforming them into community climate champions. Their work has impacted more than 15,000 women farmers, building a ripple effect of sustainable farming practices across Ghana. Through our Green Economy program, over 284 communities have developed climate adaptation plans CAPs to mitigate climate threats to their livelihoods.
ActionAid came to the community and realized that women are the most vulnerable and their female children in the community. So they came and mobilized us. They gave us trainings under trainings, advocacy trainings and all that. How we can do to help ourselves financially and economical status growth. So through that, they made us to form groups in the community by farming activities and also how to mobilize ourselves financially. So we started by doing farming, smallholder women farming. We started doing composting. It was through ActionAid that gave us that knowledge, how to gather our stocks, then cow down and do the compost in order to fertilize our farm yard.
We basically work with smallholder women movements. And we do this with a lot of trainings on compost preparation. One key intervention is the Female Extension Volunteer Scheme, which we have trained a lot of these young women to provide support. We train 20 of them from 5 communities, 20 of them to provide basic extension services to their peer women who sometimes find it very difficult to get extension services as a result of few extension agents from the Department of Agriculture in their respective districts. So it's an area that we are doing well, ActionAid is doing well. This key female extension volunteer scheme, which we have introduced, is helping the women, especially the smallholder women farmers, a lot to increase their yields.
For 35 years, ActionAid Ghana has championed gender justice and women's rights. We led national advocacy on unpaid care work, highlighting the invisible labor of women and influencing public discourse and policy. Our work contributed to Ghana's ratification of ILO Convention 189 on domestic workers, ILO Convention 190 on gender-based violence at work, and the passage of the Labour Domestic Workers Regulations 2020, LI 2408. We supported Shraj in developing Ghana's National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights and worked with the Ministry of Justice to position Ghana in global negotiations for a UN legal binding instrument on business and human rights. Through the Young Urban Women's Movement, we helped lead the national campaign for the passage of the Affirmative Action Law 2024. We have in over 3 decades given women attention, projecting them as pivotal leads for Ghana's development.
GAW's relationship with ActionAid Ghana is older than my work life with GAW. I say this because in the past, GAW has had some very good milestones with ActionAid, like advocating during the time of the Economic Partnership Agreement on behalf and with farmers. Beyond that, ActionAid set up an Access to Justice team, which consisted of gender specialists from different organizations. And our work basically was to look at our institutions and systems and how it actually addresses incidences of abuse of all kinds. Then come 2019, the ILO ratified the ILO Convention 190 on eliminating violence and harassment in the workplace. And through that, ActionAid brought together the team again, and we did a lot of work in policy advocacy and campaigns. How do we simplify the convention to the understanding of the ordinary Ghanaian woman at the workplace, in the market, and everywhere? And through that, we developed the Sexual Harassment Charter targeting the hospitality industry as part of support to the young urban women. Working with the young urban women, we supported them in mobilizing and organizing. So now they've expanded beyond Accra and Tamale. Now they are in Wa, they are in B and other places.
ActionAid didn't just only give me the opportunity to learn this and all that, but they also made me to discover some hidden potentials in me that I didn't know. I didn't know that I could be this creative in most of the things I do and all that. And this is a plus, and I would always acknowledge ActionAid wherever I find myself. I stand tall even among all my colleagues and all that. And my women as young urban, we speak for the voiceless. So as part of us, I've been able to put these women together in the rural communities, and they produce the raw materials like the shea butter. Then I pick it up and do that and reproduce all these products. So I think it's also a way of giving back to society as well, and also employment too as well.
ActionAid la barata son mampa la rapon. Madani igbe botom sesire yezine bani bama se kenki ko ta pela ta dwa ta enga, but ActionAid nda ta to mala tana manini da mumi enzino mananya yele mananya fo men la nyanda keep pierin bi la nanya da pampers tim men bi ba first mana don first born mada ActionAid nda botana la man sit down and them chop money and tara bi pampers everything certain eka ba now la this time man pa mar fi no fi na yan support and said oh nanda pampers nanda peto to bila. So ActionAid bada mom pa.
Part of our work also included us bringing them on board to understand how the trade union movement works and how they could benefit from it. So they've joined us a couple of times for May Day celebrations, where they also had the opportunity to also share their challenges through placards, through songs, and then with GAW as well.
We believe every woman and girl deserves a life of dignity. ActionAid Ghana supported the closure of the Bonyase witch camp, and in 2020 helped shut down Nabole camp after uncovering 6 alleged camps in the northern and northeast regions. Across 11 regions, we've established over 85 girls' clubs, each with 30 to 35 members, equipping young girls to lead their schools and communities. These clubs address child marriage, sexual and reproductive health, and leadership. Over 50,000 copies of the ABCs of Reproductive Health booklet, co-developed with NOSAC, have been distributed across basic and senior high schools and community spaces.
As a health worker, I needed a platform that would aid me to give health education to young adolescents, both boys and girls, because looking at the reproductive health of girls and boys is very alarming when they don't have the needed or the right education. They seek education from peers that don't help. So getting the platform and funding from ActionAid really helps us to go to the communities and also schools to educate them. ActionAid has gone a long way to print out reproductive health books for the basic school that aid adolescent girls and boys to get answers to frequently asked questions. Thanks to ActionAid for this greater opportunity, and we are grateful to them for the continuous impact they give to we, the younger generation.
Under our women's rights programming, ActionAid Ghana has worked with state institutions to rescue child marriage victims and sensitize communities. Through experience sharing programs, survivors are leading change.
Growing up as a girl child, I didn't have any father figure in my life. So it was all just me and then my mom. At the age of 10, I was told I've been betrothed to this man whom I've never seen before. But then I also knew that I had an uncle who was living in Wa. So I was planning to come and stay with him and then his wife and then be schooling. So I was there with him. I schooled up to my JHS level, to JHS 3, and then he also got a transfer to Takoradi. One friend of mine back in the JHS, she was part of this ActionAid, so she told me about them and then we attended one program together. At that program, I was very, very inspired. After the program, I told myself that no matter what, I was going to do something with my life and I was going to be able to take care of myself one day and then make myself proud. And luckily enough, I got very fortunate and then I was able to complete my school and then I bought my forms and now I'm in Tumu College of Education level 200. God being so good. And I also like to thank ActionAid for the support they gave me, even though it was just a one-time chance that I had with them, but I was very much motivated.
Girl-child marriage is a forbidden act in our jurisdiction. We see it to be something that is causing much damage to the youth and upbringing of children and the future of children. And being an advocate, child advocate, I see it to be something we need to fight against and make sure that people understand that marriage has its age limits. And anytime a child is at a school-going age, is forced to marriage, and it comes to us, we need to make sure that we return the dowry. We need to make sure that we return the child back to school. Looking at the nature and how people embrace these things ignorantly, it's made the upbringing of children and the future of children not good at all. Before such issue, such bad character, such bad acts can be stopped, you need to cooperate with traditional leaders, you need to cooperate with opinion leaders, all the stakeholders have to be involved. And education is very important.
Anytime a man is behind pushing, you see that the case goes forward. You are able to get a success story out of it. So I think we need more men in this fight. We had one notorious pedophile in this country who defiled over 15, 20 girls in this area, but with the support of ActionAid, we were able to get conviction for this man through the medical bills and other things with UNFPA. So I'm just praying that ActionAid will continue to collaborate with the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit in this fight. We are always ready to support in whatever way in the various communities, especially the very remotest area of this region where many wouldn't want to go. ActionAid is always ready to send us to this community to sensitize the community, to sensitize chiefs and other leaders in this fight when it comes to child marriage.
We promote gender-responsive public services and active citizens through education. Over 35 years, ActionAid Ghana has built over 58 community childcare centers and kindergartens, constructed and handed over 80 basic schools, supplied child-friendly dual desks, wash facilities, sanitary pad dispensers, and digital equipment.
ActionAid have helped girls very, very much. They gave us pad in the school with dispensary to keep our pads inside. So whenever a girl menstruates in the school, there is always a pad there for the girl to use. So when there is a girl suffering from maybe pad issues in the house, when a girl confronts us or even a madam, there is always a pad in the school for the girl. By the help of ActionAid, ActionAid have helped us a lot.
From every street to every classroom, ActionAid Ghana is leaving a sustainable legacy in the fight against poverty and injustice. We've empowered young women to find their voices, raised youth to be leaders, and work with communities on the path to equity and resilience.
Activista and ActionAid have personally impacted my life tremendously. Joining the movement sometime back in 2018 made me to realize that young people can come together and then change their fortunes. Through Activista, backed by ActionAid, we have been able to champion a lot of initiatives. You look at the youth in the region, sometime back making a call for government to work on the Boga Boku Road, which was life-threatening, and eventually we got some results. You realize that the government came back to commence work on the road after the delay. And so there are a lot of activities we have embarked on, working in communities to talk about teenage pregnancy, talk about engaging the actors in agri sector on how young people can utilize agri to transform their lives. So I must say that Activista has also educated many of us young people who are especially members, and of course as part of our work going to the communities on a very important issue that happens in our homes. I'm talking about unpaid care work. These are some of the things that I must say through ActionAid and Activista we have been able to achieve in the Upper East region. Yes, on a larger scale, as we occasionally engage on radio, we are reaching out to people. Sometimes the feedback on the topics we engage people on radio tells you that people are beginning to appreciate some of the things we are doing, especially on unpaid care work and all that. And so 35 years of ActionAid's work and knowing what ActionAid has done even in the Upper East region, building classroom structures for many communities in the Upper East region. These are initiatives by ActionAid within this period that I can say have changed many lives.
To every partner, ally, community member, and colleague, we thank you.
Thanks to ActionAid today, Upper West Region is one of the regions that can boast of a shelter that is providing services to survivors of GBV. Aside just the shelter, it is also providing social counseling for our survivors. The shelter has also strengthened other key institutions that also provide services for our survivors. And thanks to ActionAid once again, we also have what we call the committee for the Jason shelter, which meets quarterly, and ActionAid had ensured that we have these quarterly meetings
every year. We are grateful to the impact they've made, particularly in the areas of addressing issues of GBV in the region, and also providing platform for women and girls to enjoy their full potentials. In the area of empowerment, we know a lot has been done in our communities. Some communities have been touched. We know some community structures were also established through ActionAid's interventions. One of them, we can speak of, is the Compact, which has worked extensively in our communities to help us address issues of GBV in the region. We also get to partner with ActionAid to roll out some of our calendar events, such as the Day of the African Child, doing things on International Women's Day, and then also celebrating International Rural Women's Day. We've been doing a lot together with ActionAid, and I think we've come this far in terms of our collaboration because we've seen the impact that our collaboration is doing on the grounds, and we look forward to doing more together with ActionAid Ghana.
From the community to the boardroom to the advocacy street, we are proud to have walked this journey with you.